All right, so first and foremost, what did you guys think about that new intro video? That's pretty good, right? All right, so it took me about an hour or so to make that intro video, and it was pretty short, but hey, the quality is definitely getting better here at World Weather Authority. All right, don't want to spend too much time talking about intro videos. It was definitely good, but all right. I hope you guys are all doing well. This is meteorologist Zakk Clark here, back in action with your latest update on the upcoming multi-day severe weather setup. I'm currently recovering from open hernia surgery, so if my voice sounds a bit off, that's why. But I'm on the mend, and the weather videos are officially back. So whether you're tuning in from Facebook, YouTube, or Rumble, thank you so much for watching this video on demand. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe or follow to stay ahead of the storm with the most up-to-date severe weather information. Now, let's dive into the data and break down what's coming your way. All right, so let's take a look at the severe weather outlook for today. What do you guys think about that transition? Pretty cool, right? All right, so without further ado, take a look at the orange area here. That is the enhanced risk, which means that we have the potential of seeing stronger thunderstorms and embedded tornadoes in these storms as well. This is across northwestern Missouri, eastern Kansas, down through central Oklahoma, almost into the northern Texas here. The slight risk does extend down into Texas, into central Texas, and all the way up into southern Iowa, and all the way over into extreme portions of western Illinois. We also have the marginal risk, which is a little bit bigger area than both of those. This extends into the Great Lakes region and into central Nebraska, down through Texas down here, right along the Texas-Mexico border. We also have a marginal risk for thunderstorms here in California. So overall, we have an upper level long wave trough, which is positioned over the western United States. This is forecast to undergo significant amplification today. This deepening is being driven by a series of embedded progressive mid-level shortwave troughs that will propagate east-northeastward across the southwestern United States and into the central and northern plains. In association with this dynamic evolution, a well-defined southerly mid-level jet centered around the 5 to 700 millibar layer is expected to intensify and overspread the southern and central plains by this evening and into the overnight period. This enhanced jet stream will serve to increase upper level divergence and mid-level ascent, promoting surface cyclogenesis across the high plains. Meanwhile, in the lower troposphere, a pronounced southerly low-level jet centered near 850 millibars is advecting substantial moisture northward out of the Gulf of Mexico and into Texas. This transport of moisture has already led to steadily increasing surface dew points across the Rio Grande Valley and into south central Texas. Continued northward moisture advection is anticipated throughout the day, supporting increasing boundary layer instability across the region. At the surface, a low-pressure system is forecast to deepen through the afternoon as it migrates from eastern Colorado into western Kansas. Further development of this surface low is expected later today across southwestern Kansas into northwestern Oklahoma, in response to enhanced synoptic scale ascent associated with the mid-level jet traversing the high plains. A well-defined dry line is forecast to extend from southward from the surface low, stretching through western Oklahoma into northern Texas. This boundary will serve as a potential focus for convective initiation later today. Additionally, a cold front associated with the deepening surface cyclone will advance east-southeastward across much of the central and southern high plains overnight. And by early tomorrow morning, the primary surface low is expected to lift northeastward, reaching eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. So let's take a look at radar Omega. Some of you may be wondering what Radar Omega is. Well, Radar Omega is an advanced professional grade radar and weather visualization app that gives you access to some of the most detailed, high resolution weather data available to the public. It goes far beyond the basic weather apps most people use, offering NextRad Level 2 radar data, dual polarization products, high resolution satellite imagery, storm tracking, velocity scans, and even model data, lightning detection, and mesoscale discussions. Whether you're a meteorologist, storm chaser, emergency responder, or just a weather enthusiast, Radar Omega is a powerful tool to stay ahead of the storm. It's incredibly useful for monitoring developing severe weather, analyzing storm structure, tracking rotation, and getting a deeper understanding of atmospheric dynamics in real time. And just to be clear, this is not a sponsored shout out. I just genuinely believe in using the best tools available when it comes to public safety and accurate forecasting. But hey, if Radar Omega ever did want to sponsor World Weather Authority, I wouldn't say no. All right, so as you can see here, you can see the SPC layer here with the enhanced risk. We also have the slight risk and the marginal risk and the general thunderstorm risk. In the bottom left here, you'll see the time. This is for the HRRR model with the latest data coming out. So I just want to show you some of this, how far this actually goes out. Let's see here. Just want to show you guys, if we zoom in a little bit, want to get some timing on some of these storms coming in. We're going to have a little bit of pop-ups here in Kansas City, down towards Harrisonville, Clinton, Windsor, Warrensburg, Marshall, Boonville. This is going to head over towards Columbia. And then tonight at 7 p.m., you can see Oklahoma City, El Reno, Mustang, Norman. You guys are going to be under the gun of a developing cell, and it looks like these cells blow up. Unfortunately, this actually is very reminiscent of the El Reno tornado that happened. It's definitely not good. Although this isn't three storms merging together as one, we do have three storms or four storms lined up, stretching from Stillwater all the way down to Wichita Falls. So we're going to have to watch this very carefully as we head on through the night. Heading up a little bit north towards Grand Island, York, Lincoln. You can see a few storms getting their act together here. This is around 8 p.m. As we move this forward, we can see Beatrice. This could be a possible rotating cell here. It's definitely got that signature on it, so we're going to have to keep a watch out for that. And as we head down towards Emporia, let's go down. Let's go back to 8 p.m. so that way we can see the storm evolution here. All right, so we go to 9 p.m. You can see these storms start to fill in here near Winfield, Arkansas City, Ponca City, Bartlesville here, over towards Parsons, Pittsburgh, Fort Scott. You guys are going to have to watch out as these storms propagate eastward. Again, down here towards Stillwater, Pawnee. We're going to have to watch over here towards Pryor Creek. You guys are going to have a very good view on this storm. Unfortunately, the sun will already be setting at this time. So it's probably going to be one hell of a light show. All right, as we go towards 10 p.m., you can see these storms kind of congeal here. It looks like they're, if you go back just 1, 2, it looks like they're starting to form one main cell here just south of Bartlesville here and to the west of Pryor Creek as we head into 10 p.m. And right down here near Shawnee, Seminole, Holdenville here, this is going to be a very strong cell at 10 p.m. tonight. This could have the potential to be a prolific nocturnal tornado producer tonight. Definitely some large hail with this. We're going to have to watch that carefully. So if we go into Illinois, near Bloomington, Davenport, Jacksonville, Decanter here at 10 p.m., we got a couple thunderstorms definitely developing here. It looks more of a rain shield up to the north. There's going to be some embedded thunderstorms here. These ones down here towards Decanter. So let me highlight these areas for you. So that's most likely, let me see if this works out. There we go. So that is most likely going to be the stronger of the storms coming in, more of a prefrontal confluence band coming in here. So if we step this forward just a little bit more, we can see that this storm, basically that came from Shawnee, it's going to head up towards Muskogee here, up towards Fayetteville. Definitely looks like a big storm. This is midnight tonight, up near Joplin as well, Carthage, Pittsburgh, Greenfield as well. We're going to have to watch for the potential here of a developing severe thunderstorm. And then we have a cell behind this as well near Sycamore and Independence and Fredonia. It looks like it's getting its act together as well. Over here towards Salina, Ellsworth, Great Bend, Junction City, Manhattan. We're going to have to watch for this line of thunderstorms developing here. So you can see that well-defined line there. Definitely going to be a major light show tonight, that's for sure. These storms actually make it to Lake Michigan here around midnight. This is Evanston, Gary, Rockford. This is eventually going to come across to go to South Bend and Kalamazoo. So we're going to have to watch that very carefully. This is in the marginal risk here. And then outside of that is the general thunderstorm risk. But marginal risk have proven to be tornado producers in the past, especially up here in the Great Lakes. So we're going to have to watch that carefully. All right, so I also want to take a look at some of these prefrontal confluence bands down here. Just to the east of Dallas, north of Shreveport, and to the south west of Little Rock. We're going to have to watch these storms carefully. The reason why I say that, let me just zoom in a little bit. So you can see these sort of popcorn variety thunderstorms developing here. This is right near, let me zoom in a little bit, DeQueen, Hatfield, Norman, Odin. This is just to the southwest of Little Rock and to the north of Shreveport. So the reason why I'm looking at these storms is I want to look at the significant tornado parameter here. So you can see they're in a pretty favorable environment. You can see even Dallas is as well. But take this with a grain of salt because the model isn't really showing much storms developing down there, which is good news. Unfortunately, you can see these big storms just to the southeast of Oklahoma City and Norman. So if we go back to the significant tornado parameter here, you can definitely see that some of these storms are going to be rooted into that. And these parameters are pretty high. We're looking at 5.4, 4.8, and 5.7. But over here to where this storm's heading, 5.7. Let me see. Just go back to composite real quick. So this is going to be up near Muskogee at this time. So let's take a look at that quick. So yeah, significant tornado parameter of 4.8. So the HRRR model, right where that storm, where it has that storm showing up, right around Muskogee there, with a significant tornado parameter of 4.8. So that's very concerning and indicates a high potential for strong to violent tornadoes. This could be EF2 or greater. Some of you might be wondering what significant tornado parameter is. Well, it's actually a composite index that combines several ingredients necessary for tornado genesis, especially significant tornadoes. So it factors in the mixed layer cape, which is the instability portion of it, the 0 to 1 kilometer storm relative helicity, which is the low level spin, the LCL height or the cloud base height, the bulk wind difference or shear, and the convective inhibition. So it's definitely interesting. So STP values above 1 already indicate a potential for supercells with tornadoes. Values above 2 raise concerns for strong tornadoes. And the value that we're seeing here, 4.8, is exceptionally high and usually only seen in outbreak level environments. So it's definitely very interesting. I would assume that a tornado watch would go into effect tonight. So this would be around midnight tonight, so we're going to have to watch that very carefully. Emergency managers, storm chasers, and meteorologists need to be on high alert in this area tonight. All right, switching back to the composite reflectivity, the future radar here from the HRRR model. I just want to look at the storm up here near Joplin, see what the significant tornado parameter is here. All right, so that's good news. It looks like it's basically 0 here. So that might be good news. Let's see what the most unstable cape here is. 1760 joules per kilogram. So we could definitely get some hail here. I have to watch that carefully. Shear, storm relative velocity of 296 meters squared per second squared, and a dew point of about 54.8. So that storm is moving into an environment that is less favorable, and we can see that storm basically dies out and heads off to the northeast. This line here, stretching from Des Moines all the way down through the Great Bend, definitely looks like it's going to pose a damaging wind threat. Let me see what the significant tornado parameter is here. So it definitely looks like 1.3. So there is a chance for brief spin-up tornadoes, or maybe a strong QLCS tornado. But I don't want to say that at this moment, since the significant tornado parameter is pretty low there. And let's take a look at the max updraft velocity as well. This is what gets a little bit concerning. Very interesting there. So yeah, it's definitely very interesting. So this parameter is called the max updraft helicity. Just want to show you where this is in Radar Omega here. So there it is, max updraft helicity. And basically, it's a high resolution model diagnostic used to identify and track the potential for rotating thunderstorms, particularly supercells and mesocyclones that may produce tornadoes. So this combines the vertical updraft strength and the horizontal vorticity. So it essentially measures how much the rotating air is being tilted and stretched by a storm's updraft. This is critical in diagnosing mesocyclone strength. Sorry, there we go. And so we can see some of these values here. This is around 9 p.m. tonight in the Oklahoma City area. So you can see value of 352 there. So the units of this is meters squared per second squared, just like the storm relative velocity units. So 352 meters squared per second squared falls into the category of strong mesocyclone and mature supercells, which values range from 250 to 500. So yeah, it's definitely interesting to see there. We also have one down here near Lawton heading into Lindsay here, 307, and it looks like it gets a little bit weaker down to 228. So that falls between the range of 150 and 250, which indicates moderate supercell potential. I just want to push this forward a little bit. So let's go to so looks like around 9 p.m. tonight. So down here, or I'm sorry, up here towards the Great Bend, Ellsworth, and north of Salina, we have values of 271 down to 221, and then back up again to 294. Again, that's the strong mesocyclone or mature supercell range from 250 to 500. And we also have these tracks to the north of McCook. So this goes through Hayes Center, Maywood, and then Loop City. And then through Greeley Center, Spalding. So this is in Nebraska. Then we have a few here. This might be the same cell, actually. This goes through Ord, Pierce, up through Sioux City. So your range there, value is about 24. So you're looking at about weak rotation or disorganized convection. So not too bad there. This might be the same cell coming from down here to the north of Salina near Minneapolis, down through Oak Hill. And this is in Kansas. And then this crosses into extreme portions of southeastern Nebraska near Humboldt and Pawnee City. Values of 132 there. So that's marginally rotating storms, possibly weak supercells there. And then I just want to see. So yeah, that's right along that line. So we're going to have to watch that carefully. We could have a few brief spin ups or bookend vortices that develop here. So not too bad. Definitely going to be a lot of precipitation. Definitely some lightning coming in as well. I'm curious to see as we go further. Let's head on into 3 a.m. And I just realized the time isn't updating in the corner for you guys. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can get that back up and running. Let's see. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Might have to refresh that. All right, anyway. So let me take off the timestamp there. So this is around 3 a.m. And you can see the storms are heading into Iowa here, near Clarinda, Creston, Greenfield. Basically heading into Des Moines tonight. And we're looking at about 52 for the max updraft velocity. Down here near Clarinda, 30. So this looks like to be weak rotation, disorganized convection tonight. Yeah, that storm near Pawnee City and Humboldt, that's 198 for a value there. So that's moderate supercell potential. But then when it crosses into Iowa and into extreme portions of northwestern Missouri, definitely looks like it loses a bit of steam there. So that's good news. It is still a very strong line there. But up towards Des Moines, you're going to get a pretty good rain shield coming in. This line looks a little bit concerning. Looks like a couple appendages here. But then again, this is model data. This is not actually live right now, which is good news. These appendages would be pretty concerning if it was live. But yeah, so right ahead and right along this line, values of ranging from 22 to 105 meters squared per second squared. So that's weak rotation up to weak supercells. So there's definitely going to be some embedded supercells, weak supercells here in this line tonight. This is right around 3 a.m. tonight. But nevertheless, definitely keep your eyes on the sky. Make sure your cell phones are charged tonight. And if you have a NOAA weather radio, definitely make sure that the batteries are ready to go and have that on hand just in case if you have to evacuate to some sort of shelter tonight. All right, so moving into 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, we have a cell down here towards Eureka. This is Kansas. This is to the east of Wichita. This definitely looks like a very strong cell. And this looks like it's going to head up towards Yates Center. Looks like there's going to be a major line that develops here as well. Man, that just blows up according to the HRRR model. This stretches from Cambridge, which is in southern Kansas there, all the way up through St. Joseph, eventually congealing with that line up to the north as well. That comes through Des Moines. Let me see if there's any significant tornado parameter here. Yeah, I mean, we got values of 5.9, 5.8, very strong. And max updraft felicity. See, it's not too bad. 190, still pretty high. That's moderate supercell potential. But then as it congeals into that line, it's kind of harder to resolve those numbers there. Let me see what the Cape values are here. Yeah, 2,350 joules per kilogram. And then as you head to the north, 40 joules per kilogram. So that's definitely crazy for sure. Let's see what else we can look at here. See if we can look at the EHI. All right, so taking a look at the EHI, I went back to midnight. You can see values of 9.3 towards Ardmore. Looks like 7.7 near Shawnee, 8 near Norman. And let's head off to the east here. Looks like 3.8 near Fort Smith. So definitely very strong values here. So EHI stands for the Energy Helicity Index. It combines the convective available potential energy and the storm relative helicity. So it's definitely pretty interesting. It basically shows you quickly where the instability and shear overlap. So high cape with no shear environments. So you get storms but no rotation. High shear with no cape. You get wind but no storms. EHI lights up where both are maximized, and those are where your tornado zones are. It basically shows you where your warm sector is as well. So values less than 1 indicate a low tornado risk. 1 to 2 indicates a marginal tornado risk. 2 to 3 shows strong supercells with tornadoes possible. 3 to 5 means very favorable for significant tornadoes. And 5 plus is a high-end outbreak level tornado environment, or tornadic environment, I should say. And unfortunately, it looks like that's what we're seeing with these values. So if we head into 1 a.m., into 4 a.m., and then into 6 a.m. So 6.6 EHI, and then out ahead of that, 2.1. So we're looking at strong supercells and tornadoes possible highlighted across this entire area, basically stretching from, it looks like Meadville all the way down to near Fort Smith and over across into portions of Western Tennessee as well. So it's very interesting. So that's where the warm sector is going to be. If we can get some storms firing up in that region, it's definitely going to cause major problems. But for now, it looks like all the storms are up to the north. The strongest ones appear to be to the east of Wichita, right over to the southwest of Kansas City near Burlington. Man, that's a strong cell. That's just to the south of Waverly at 6 a.m. It's definitely interesting. And then we have some storms here developing across Indiana, Ohio. Nothing in the Pittsburgh area yet or into the West Virginia area just yet. So that's good news. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to look at the risk for April 2nd, which is tomorrow. So it looks like we have a moderate risk. This extends from Jasper. So this is southern Indiana, all the way down through western Kentucky, southeastern Illinois, southeastern Missouri, eastern Arkansas, western Tennessee, and extreme portions of northwestern Mississippi as well. And we have a giant enhanced risk extending from Fort Worth, Texas, all the way up through Detroit, and then a bigger slight risk from Bay City, Michigan, Madison, Wisconsin, Davenport, down through Jefferson City, and this actually extends all over to Cleveland, Warren, Canton, Lancaster, and it extends over into Nashville. Here is in the enhanced risk. Murfreesboro in the slight risk, Columbia, Tennessee in the slight risk, Florence in the slight risk, Tupelo, Mississippi, Lake Providence, Monroe, Shreveport, you guys are in the enhanced risk tomorrow. Dallas, Texas, you guys are as well. Here in Pittsburgh, we are in the marginal risk, Morgantown. This includes Fairmont, Shinston, Clarksburg, Mannington, down through Weston, Pennsboro, Sutton down through Charleston as well. And this goes all the way down into Texas, which includes Austin, San Angelo, College Station. Then we have that general thunderstorm risk as well. So it's definitely pretty crazy. Definitely looks like it's going to shape up to be an interesting day. So this is Wednesday into Wednesday night. This is from the mid Mississippi Valley into the lower Ohio Valley. Things are definitely going to shape up for a potentially dangerous severe weather day. Thunderstorms are expected to already be active early Wednesday morning from northeast Texas up into the upper Midwest. Ahead of that, warmer, more humid air will push north into Illinois and Indiana, with temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s, with dew points reaching into the mid to upper 60s, which is a sign of growing storm fuel in the atmosphere. For most of the day, a cap or a layer of warm air aloft may prevent storms from growing too strong right away, but by late afternoon, so around 5 or 6 p.m., this cap will weaken as a powerful upper level system moves in. At that point, the atmosphere will become very unstable with strong wind shear around 45 to 55 knots in place, and this will be ideal for explosive supercell development. These storms could quickly rotate, and the combination of strong winds, moisture, and instability sets the stage for tornadoes, some of which could be strong or even violent. So even though the tornado risk may be limited earlier in the evening, models show that the low-level jet, which is a fast stream of winds near the surface, around 850 millibars, strengthening again by 7 to 8 p.m. This will ramp up the tornado threat into the night. Large hail and damaging winds will also be a concern before tornadoes become the dominant hazard. And then as we head down into North Texas, into the Arklatex region, into the late night, after midnight, storms are expected to develop across northwest Texas and push into the Arklatex region, which is where Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas meet. Initially, these storms may be elevated, producing large hail and some damaging winds, but as the night progresses, they may become surface-based, increasing the risk for tornadoes and more intense wind damage by early Thursday morning. And then into the upper Midwest to upper Great Lakes, there's going to be a conditional threat. So northern Illinois into southern Michigan could see a high impact severe weather setup, especially later in the day. This area will be near a strong low pressure system and under a powerful jet stream, both ingredients needed for dangerous storms. However, the threat here depends on how much cloud cover and rain from the night before clears out. If the skies break just enough to allow for warming and the sun to peek through, the atmosphere could destabilize very quickly. In that case, there could be a significant tornado risk, particularly for northern Illinois, including major metro areas. So the bottom line, folks, this is a multi-region, multi-phase severe weather setup that will evolve throughout the day and into the night. If you live in or near the mid-Mississippi Valley, lower Ohio Valley, North Texas, or the Midwest, now is the time to review your severe weather safety plans. Have multiple ways to receive warnings, especially if storms hit after dark, and stay alert and tune in for updated forecasts throughout the day. All right, so I turned off the SPC layer there. I just want to look at the composite reflectivity. This is the NAM 3-kilometer model here. I want to go into April 2nd here. So let's go into 12 a.m. Let me see here. There we go. Now we can see some of the snow possibly falling up towards Minneapolis as well. Strong storms coming in from Salina all the way up through Falls City, Auburn, Nebraska City as well. Some strong storms coming in here near Peoria, up towards, let me get in here, Princeton, Henry, all the way up through Amboy as well. So we can step this forward a little bit. 6 a.m. There we go. So Paris, Texas might get hit with some rain here around 8 a.m. Fort Smith as well. Here down here towards looks like Pittsburgh, Kansas, over towards Kansas City, Richmond, up through Kirksville, Mount Pleasant, Burlington, Galesburg, Rockford, up through Lake Michigan here. Looks like up here in Wyoming, Cannon Township, you guys are going to get some mixed precipitation there. Kalamazoo looks like rain. South Bend, Fort Wayne, Logansport, definitely some storms coming in. And this actually goes all the way through 1 p.m. Another line developing from Des Moines down through Kansas City. Lake Michigan, Kenosha, Evanston getting hammered here with some of that rain. Cleveland, Canton, New Philadelphia coming into East Liverpool down through Cambridge. This is 1 p.m. April 2nd. So that's tomorrow there. Definitely getting hit with some rain. This passes through the Pittsburgh area between 2 and 3 p.m. down through Uniontown, Morgantown, Fairmont, Mannington, Shinston, Clarksburg getting in on the action there as well. Detroit looks like you're going to get some more rain coming in behind this around 3 to 4 p.m. as well. This line moving from Cedar Rapids down through Kansas City. Kansas City propagating eastward. And as the day progresses forward, 6 p.m. down from Rockford through Springfield, Missouri here. Got that strong line of thunderstorms coming in. May have some thunderstorms or some heavy rain developing up here between Lansing and Bay City, Michigan. All the rain that propagated through earlier in the day, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pittsburgh, you're out of it here. Northern West Virginia, you're out of it as well. This is beginning to impact Harrisburg, Lancaster, Frederick, heading towards Baltimore, Scranton, you're under the gun there. And even down here towards the Arklatex region, up near Shreveport, 6 p.m., Hot Springs, Little Rock. Definitely be on alert down there, guys. Let's head on into 7 p.m. and then into 8 p.m. We got strong storms coming into Conway, Little Rock, Hot Springs, Pine Bluff. That line now extending from Lake Michigan down through just to the east of Springfield, Missouri at this time. A couple strong storms coming across the lake as well. Let me turn on the composite reflectivity there just to give you guys the environment that we're looking at. Definitely pretty strong storms coming in. This is when the low-level jet is going to start ramping up here. So 9 p.m. St. Louis, you're going to be under the gun between 9 and 10 tomorrow. Bloomington, Decanter, Urbana, all the way up through Gary, right on the tip of Lake Michigan there. And then down through Mount Vernon. This is in southern Illinois, down through Carbondale. You guys are going to be under the gun around 9 p.m. Jonesboro, Paragould, Kennett, Newport, all the way down through Pine Bluff, Arkladelphia, Hope, Texarkana, Vivian. You guys are going to be under the gun around 9 p.m. If we go into 10 p.m., looks like it's a pretty strong congealed line from Indianapolis all the way down to the Arklatex region here, with another line behind that from South Bend down to St. Louis, even down into Cabot, Houston, Missouri here. Got a couple showers and storms developing here near Greenville, Asheville as well. This is around 10 p.m. tomorrow night. As we head into 12, it looks like it becomes a very messy situation with these two lines feeding off each other here. This extends from Detroit all the way down past Pine Bluff, all the way towards Texarkana. So you can see the distance there. Very, very, very strong. Looks like 1 a.m. pretty strong there as well. This is heading in towards Bellefontaine, down towards Dayton, Hamilton, impacting Seymour, down through Golconda, Morganfield, Paducah, Blytheville, Truman, Forest City, Pine Bluff under the gun once again. This is at 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then St. Louis looks like you get impacted right around 11 p.m. And then this heads on into 12 a.m. April 3rd, which is Thursday. So this is where I'm going to leave off here for Wednesday. Now I'm going to head into Thursday. All right, so before we head into Thursday, I want to show you the EHI for tomorrow as well. All right, so you can see that progress there. Gets all the way up into near Detroit. This is at 11 p.m. tomorrow night. Columbus, all the way down through Evansville, Madisonville, Jackson, Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, over into eastern Arkansas, including Pine Bluff. Then we have Greenville, Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. This extends all the way down to the Gulf Coast. So you can see how monstrous this warm sector is. And as we head into 12 a.m., you can see very sharp gradient there just to the east of Little Rock. So the thunderstorm still ongoing. This is 12 a.m. just like I showed you before. So storms extending from the Arklatex region all the way up through Detroit. And now I'm going to go into the significant tornado parameter to see where tornadoes are possible here, and still all the way from Detroit all the way down through the Arklatex region. Very interesting. Let's see the max updraft helicity just to get on point where these supercells are most likely going to develop at. So let me change this color here so you guys can see this more prominently on the map. Let's see. I guess white will be fine. So we have some storms. The updraft helicity there from Davenport. See if this actually highlights. There we go. We have one going right across the tip of Lake Michigan there. And then to the south as well. So it's definitely going to be an active night for sure. So this is for Orland Park, Gary, up through Benton Harbor. This is through 12 a.m. Tomorrow. This one goes through Wheatfield, Knox. This is northwestern Indiana here. Lots of max updraft helicity tracks across Illinois. Much of the state here being covered by that. Strongest up, like I said, up near Davenport. This is going to be near Sterling, Morrison, Dixon, Mount Morris, down through Fairbury, Chatsworth, Bloomington, Randolph, over through Griggsville, Bluffs, Meridosia. Sorry, guys, I'm very good at butchering names, so if I apologize, I do apologize if I do that. Northern Missouri here, we're looking at Unionville, down through Pollock, Lemons, Jacksonville, even towards Salina, Abilene, Junction City, Manhattan, Bartlettsville. So this is in Oklahoma near Pawnee, to the south west of Oklahoma City. We're going to have to watch that. Down through Little Rock, all the way through the Arklatex region as well, even up through Campbell here, Pollard. This is right on the border of Arkansas and Missouri. This extends through Carbondale, McLeansboro, Fairfield, and up through Flat Rock. And this extends into Ohio as well. So Delaware, Marion, Bellefontaine. The strongest looks to be near Hepburn. So it's definitely going to be an interesting night. This actually goes all the way up to Mount Pleasant and up near Mecosta, Lakeview, Michigan. Very interesting night for sure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead into Thursday, April 4th. All right, so heading into Thursday, April 4th, it looks like actually, you know what? Let me see. Do I have the date wrong? I just want to be sure that I'm correct on that. I'm sorry. April 3rd, not 4th. Friday is the 4th. See, April Fool's Day has me going crazy right now, folks. All right. So the slight risk, this extends into Oakdale, McDonald, Bethel Park, Cecil, Lawrence, Canonsburg, Washington, Bentleyville, Cokeburg, all the way down to Stockville, Uniontown, Confluence, Waynesburg. This is all in southwestern Pennsylvania here. This includes Spring Hill, Morgantown, Star City, Fairmont, Shinston, Smithfield, Mannington, Grafton, Clarksburg, Stonewood, down through Weston, Charleston, Huntington, Lexington, Kentucky, Louisville, Evansville, Madisonville, Bowling Green, down through Nashville, Columbia, Jackson, Memphis, Jonesboro, Conway, Pine Bluff, Hot Springs, Fort Smith, and all the way down through Dallas and down through Fort Worth, Shreveport, and Monroe as well. And then the marginal risk would be Mount Lebanon, McKeesport, McCandless, Ross Township, Robinson Township, Moon Township, Weirton, East Liverpool, Butler, Punxsutawney, Johnstown, Altoona, State College, Bloomsburg, Hazleton, Allentown, Harrisburg, Chambersburg, Lancaster, Hagerstown. This goes all the way to Atlantic City, Georgetown, Salisbury, Charlottesville. This includes Bristol, Crossville, Winchester, Huntsville, Florence, and all the way down to San Angelo, Abilene, and Wichita Falls. So we have a giant area to cover with this, folks. So the overall synopsis of this event. So a very moist and unstable air mass will be in place south of a stationary front, stretching from eastern Texas into Arkansas and up through the mid-Mississippi Valley. Dew points will be in the upper 60s to low 70s, which means there is plenty of fuel for thunderstorms. We're going to have strong wind shear, which is the change in wind direction and speed with height. This will be spread across this entire region for much of the day, while the atmosphere isn't capped very strongly, which means storms won't have a hard time forming. The mid-level cooling isn't extreme, so we're looking at a setup that favors widespread thunderstorm development rather than isolated storms. These storms may form in clusters or even supercells, especially near the front, and are expected to spread northeast through the afternoon and evening hours. With strong winds aloft, the main threats will be large hail, damaging winds, and a limited but still possible tornado risk, particularly where any supercells develop low-level wind profiles line up favorably. So late Thursday night into early Friday. This will be for central and north Texas to southeastern Oklahoma. As we head into the overnight hours, another round of severe weather is possible. A strong upper level pattern will take shape, enhancing southerly winds and moisture flow across the southern plains. Thunderstorms that develop in this zone will be mostly elevating, meaning they will form above the cooler air near the surface. Still, there's enough energy and instability for large hail and possibly isolated damaging winds, especially across central and north Texas into southeastern Oklahoma. So now into Ohio and the Tennessee valleys to the mid-Atlantic to right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. As the front pushes slowly southward and stalls, it will line up with a fast-moving winds aloft, stretching from the Ohio Valley into parts of the mid-Atlantic. While confidence is low on exactly where storms will form because of disagreement between forecast models, there will be plenty of moisture and occasional upper-level disturbances that could trigger storm clusters. Any storms that do form along or just south of the front could produce strong to severe wind gusts and possibly isolated hail. The tornado threat appears low here due to less ideal wind profiles and limited instability. So the bottom line, folks, from Texas to the mid-Mississippi Valley, expect scattered strong storms with the potential for hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes, especially Thursday afternoon and evening. Overnight Thursday, another round of storms may bring hail and wind to parts of Texas and Oklahoma. And from the Ohio Valley to the mid-Atlantic, keep an eye out for strong wind-producing storms, though exact locations are still uncertain. But we're going to take a look at the NAM 3-kilometer model here in just a second. All right, so let's start this at, let me see here. This will be Let's start it at 2 a.m. on April 4th. As you can see, we have a very long linear structure of storms extending from Detroit all the way down to Little Rock here. So definitely be interesting there to see develop. And you can see the storms right around 3 a.m. developing near Wichita Falls. This is to the northwest of Dallas, Fort Worth area, and to the southwest of Oklahoma City. Extending from Little Rock again all the way up through Detroit here. Very linear storm mode here. So that's definitely good news. 5 a.m. we're going to have some strong storms coming into Oklahoma City, Lawton, down through Ada, Colgate, McAllister. So definitely be on the lookout there. We're also going to have some storms around Hot Springs, Little Rock. Man, Little Rock's getting hammered this time of year, huh? Blytheville, down through Memphis, Jackson, Evansville, Louisville, Cincinnati, Columbus, Marion, Mansfield, up through Cleveland, and into Erie as well. Let me zoom this out just a little bit. All right, so we're at 5 a.m. here. It looks like these storms come into the Pittsburgh area. It looks like mostly rain around 7 a.m. It looks like we get hit at 10 a.m. on the 3rd. Looks like some storms coming into Fairmont, Morgantown, down through Clarksburg, Weston, down through Charleston around 8 a.m. on April 3rd, so Thursday. And it looks like the stronger storms coming into Weirton, through Zanesville, Lancaster, Logan around 10 a.m. Most likely going to be a rain event here. This is going to last most of the day. And it looks like a little bit more cells coming through around 6 p.m., especially to the north of Pittsburgh near Slippery Rock, Grove City, Oil City. Doesn't look like a major event for Pittsburgh. Some of these cells might be interesting to chase. We'll see. I don't even know if I could chase storms right now trying to heal from open hernia surgery. But this is from East Liverpool to Robinson, Moon Township, down through Washington as well, and up towards New Kensington, Harrison Township, Lower Borough. Watch for flooding up there towards Lower Borough. It still looks like the storms are lined up there. All right, so storms push into Circleville, Lancaster, Georgetown, Ohio around 7 a.m. This extends down through Louisville, Owensboro, down through Jackson, Memphis, and Little Rock. Definitely some strong storms here near Heavener, Greenwood, and let me zoom in here. Worcester, Howe. This is in eastern Oklahoma. Some storms getting their act together around 7 a.m. near El Reno, down through Seymour, Texas. Definitely a very interesting setup. And like I said, some of these models have discrepancy here because it shows West Virginia not getting hit with any storms when I know, in fact, on Thursday is going to be the more significant day for West Virginia. But unfortunately, it shows absolutely nothing showing up here. So that's not good news. Let's see if the 12-kilometer NAM shows anything. All right, let's go to the GFS, see if that shows anything. There we go. So this looks like Friday, so late Thursday night into Friday is when the storms will come here into northern West Virginia through Morgantown, Clarksburg, Grafton, Fairmont, over towards New Martinsville, down through Harrisville. And then the stronger portion eventually propagates through around 5 a.m. Fairmont, Clarksburg, down through Weston. So yeah, you could definitely see there's model discrepancy here. Let me go back to the NAM. I want to look at the EHI. So yeah, the NAM model has the EHI hitting Lake Erie here towards Columbus, Cincinnati, strongest down near Evansville through Jackson and to the east of Little Rock. But none of this really makes it into West Virginia until 5 p.m. there, and Pennsylvania as well. But yeah, that's definitely very interesting. Let me see the max updraft helicity here as well. So it looks like Hillsboro, Ohio, over through Sugar Grove, Buena Vista, Junction City, down through Pleasant City, Byesville. Really nothing in the Pittsburgh area here. Moon Township, maybe a little bit of rotation, but I'm not really counting on that happening there. We're looking at a 19, so very weak rotation there. Bellefontaine, Kenton, over through LaRue, Big Island, Mount Victory, over through Hepburn. Looks like the strongest cells there in Greenville, in Ohio there. Kentucky, looks like the Indiana-Kentucky border from Tell City to Corydon here through Georgetown. Again, I'm butchering names. I do apologize. And then obviously from Ardmore up through McAllister, and then Tallahena up through Clarksville. So this is Oklahoma into Arkansas, and then from Texarkana up through Forest City. So yeah, that definitely looks like where the strongest storms are going to be at. Let me see the significant tornado parameters, see if anything shows up. So very interesting there. So it looks like significant tornado parameter of 1.3 just near Middlebourne here in West Virginia, right along the West Virginia-Ohio border there. Fairmont 0.5. See if Pittsburgh gets any of this at all. 0 here in Pittsburgh. So I wouldn't really say that tornadoes are going to happen here in West Virginia. Even here in Pittsburgh on Thursday. It looks like down to the south towards Tennessee, Kentucky, maybe even into Virginia and into North Carolina here, but definitely across Little Rock, Dallas, into portions of extreme southern Missouri, into extreme western Tennessee. Could definitely see some tornadoes here, but here in the Pittsburgh area, no, I don't really see that happening here. Not too bad there. I do want to look at the precipitation that areas are going to see, because this could be very catastrophic for some areas. And just look at that precipitation belt here, just to the east of Little Rock here. Looks like 14 inches of rainfall, 14 inches. This is the NAM model. So we'll see if this materializes. It could get pretty close though. 5 inches, just to the south of Mansfield. New Lexington 5.6. Looks like Wheeling get about an inch. St. Clairsville about an inch as well. Pittsburgh a little over half an inch of precipitation here. But we're gonna have to watch this carefully. Let's see the GFS. See what this has to say. Oop, don't want to go that far out. There we go. So if we go through the 5th, which is Saturday, a little bit more unreliable here due to the how far it is out. Pittsburgh, about 2 inches of rainfall. Wheeling, a little over 2. In some of these areas down here, Hopkinsville, this is Kentucky. Bowling Green 6.8, Hopkinsville a little over 10 inches. That's insane. And then towards Morgantown, this is in Kentucky, over 10 inches of rainfall as well. Interestingly enough, just out of curiosity, if we step this forward through the 8th, so that would take us through next Tuesday. So this is a week out. It is showing, there we go. So these are like no data here. It's very interesting. So over a foot of rainfall here through Lewisburg, Bowling Green. It's definitely not good, folks. Pittsburgh area, likely to see about 3 inches. Looks like Barnesville, 3.86. This is through next Tuesday, so take this with a grain of salt, folks. New Lexington, about 5 inches. And if you head down towards Georgetown, a little over 9 inches of rainfall. Not sure if I see that materializing. I'd probably say about 3 to 4 inches or so in our area in Pittsburgh, maybe even down into 2.5, 2 inches. But I wouldn't be surprised if some areas down here towards Kentucky and down through Tennessee, Missouri, I wouldn't be surprised if they get close to that 8-inch mark. But all right, guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments. And as always, dominate the storm.
From the scorching deserts to the icy poles, the world's weather is a diverse and captivating symphony. At World Weather Authority, we're the maestro conducting this grand orchestra of meteorological data. Imagine the gentle rustle of the wind, the pitter-patter of the rain, the roar of the ocean's storm. We translate these atmospheric tales, painting a picture of our planet's ever-changing climate. Our dedicated team, the heart and soul of World Weather Authority, tirelessly deciphers these complex codes. Our mission is not merely predicting tomorrow's weather, but to arm you with the understanding to dominate the storm. The trust you place in us, your engagement, stokes our passion for meteorology. It drives us to provide you with the most comprehensive, accurate weather coverage. So from all of us at World Weather Authority, our gratitude for your continuous support. Stay safe, stay informed, and remember, together we can dominate the storm. As the music fades and the curtain closes, we bid you farewell until next time. Remember, the world's weather is always in motion, and so are we, ready to guide you through it. To ensure you do not miss any future videos, subscribe to the channel and enable notifications. Thank you.